Okay, welcome everybody. This is Ian Spicer speaking, Certified PSYCH-K instructor. I'm very privileged to be talking today to not only one of the most amazing PSYCH-K instructors in our community, but also the director of the PSYCH-K Health and Wellbeing program and also the director of PSYCH-K International, Duccio Locati. Duccio became an instructor in 2008. He was a doctor of osteopathy, working in Italy, had a very, very successful practice. And through his evolution, discovered PSYCH-K and fell in love with it and subsequently became an instructor and now teaches PSYCH-K all over the world. So today we're going to have a bit of a chat about the Health and Wellbeing program. So welcome, Duccio, to the call.
Thank you, my friend, and thank you for organizing this call. It's always a pleasure to talk with you and to share what we do with amazing people all over the world.
Fantastic. Well, I've got a few questions. They're quite broad, but I thought they would be great for people who maybe have not yet had experience with PSYCH-K, but also people who have already become PSYCH-K facilitators, whether it's at the basic or advanced level, and maybe looking to move to the next stage, which is the Health and Wellbeing program. So maybe we could start by having a bit of a chat about, particularly also for the people that may not have had experience yet, a little bit about what PSYCH-K is, what it isn't, in relation to health as well.
So PSYCH-K is a beautiful methodology that works with our subconscious beliefs, so supports our enhancing beliefs and transform our limiting beliefs, and at the subconscious level. So it's a very respectful and easy methodology to work with and to work with ourselves and other people, and especially related to health and well-being. It can be a very precious ally to official medicine, to allopathic medicine, for example. We need to be clear that's not a substitute for medicine, because when we have any sort of condition, our doctor and anything related to our doctor is always very important to consider. And if we want to work also at a deeper level related to health, PSYCH-K can really be of huge help, because when we talk about allopathic medicine, we talk about a kind of three-dimensional medicine, very useful. Let's think about surgery, first aid, some drugs that can for sure help us. And on the other side, sometimes we as human beings, we focus too much on symptoms without realizing that we develop a condition because of something that happens in our life and because of how we react to something that happens in our life that depends on our beliefs. So when we join this three-dimensional medicine, classical allopathic medicine, with the kind of fourth-dimensional medicine, that's what PSYCH-K does, okay? Working with beliefs, with our mind, and helping our mind to support our health. This is a beautiful and very powerful collaboration, because we have our subconscious mind supporting our health and well-being state through a very easy process, that PSYCH-K, that people can already learn in the basic workshop, and that can deepen in the other workshops, like the master facilitation workshop and the advanced workshop that can take with you and other instructors in Australia and New Zealand. And I strongly suggest all of the people who's listening now to really contact you, Ian, and the other instructors there, because you are marvelous teachers for this methodology. And if you are interested in deepening, in wanting to be able to work in a very easy and at the same time specific way with your mind, with your subconscious mind, and also with your superconscious mind, that's your wisdom, in order to support an optimal state, health and well-being state. The health and well-being program could be really the program for you. And not only if you work in the medical environment or in the health and well-being environment in order to help people, but also to learn how to use PSYCH-K for yourself in order to reach and maintain an optimal state of health and well-being. This is the key point.
Fantastic. So I hear that. So it's a complement to allopathic medicine and offers another layer of support for somebody working with people or for working with yourself to help move forward from a health and well-being perspective. So would you say that it works with traditional, would be a support for traditional or allopathic health, but also alternative health?
Absolutely.
Well?
Thank you, Ian. Yeah. A lot of participants all over the world who attend the health and well-being workshop are practitioners of different kinds of methodology, also alternative, like chiropractors, osteopaths, homeopathic doctors, acupuncturists, and every other kind of alternative medicine and alternative approach to health and well-being. So indeed, everything that, if you are in the health and well-being field at any level, you can hugely benefit from what you could learn with PSYCH-K, because this can not only help people through enhancing their nurturing beliefs about being healthy, but can help you as well to become a better therapist, a better support for the people who you work with. Because, for example, think about the placebo effect. That's basically the power of the mind in believing that one substance, one drug, one remedy works or doesn't work. That's the nocebo effect, okay? If someone doesn't believe in what you do, it's more difficult to work with them. So if you help them to believe in what they are doing for themselves, through PSYCH-K, for example, you can help this person to get results, massive results, in a much faster way, because their subconscious mind will support them in the path that they are on for their health and well-being, for example. If they do not believe in what they're doing, and it can be related to official or alternative medicine, it could be more difficult for them to see results, and it can be a very long path for reaching their optimal health and well-being state. It's the key point here, it's also about the environment, Ian. If anyone who is listening to us has read the Bruce Lipton's book, The Biology of Beliefs, can understand how the environment is critical for our own health. And it's not only the external environment we live in that's super important, but it's also our internal environment. So we have to deal with these two environments: our environment, that's our body, and how do we want our environment to be? We want to be an environment filled with love, peace, energy, where health can easily be maintained and reached? Or do we want an internal environment where fear, anger, doubt, and a lot of other conflicts are, and where health could be more difficult to reach and maintain. And also about the external environment. How do we want to react to the external environment? Because if we are very centered, we do PSYCH-K, we meditate, but we live in a very violent environment, or an environment filled with doubt, with people who do not believe in what we do, and with people who do not help our growth. How do we want to react to this environment? So, and it's all about our beliefs. So are we able to deal in a peaceful way with this external environment? Are we able to understand why we are co-creating this external environment? And are we able in some way to really interact with this external environment in a much healthier way, so that the external environment doesn't affect us and our internal environment? And this thing about our internal environment and the external environment is finally related to our beliefs, because our beliefs manage our internal environment, like our biology, how we function, the energy inside our body. And our beliefs also impact how we react to the external environment. For example, if in a very practical way, if you go to your office and every day you meet your colleague that you hate and you're angry, and you stay 8 hours, 10 hours in front of this man or woman that you hate and produces in your internal environment anger, anger, anger. Maybe this anger will go to your stomach, okay? And on a long term, your stomach can deeply suffer from this anger that you feel 5 days a week for 4 weeks per month, 12 months per year, and on and on and on. So you can keep deciding to be a victim and do nothing and just living 8 hours per day in an environment that produces this anger and that has an effect on your stomach. Or you can decide to change how you perceive the situation. So to transform the perception that you have about this person, maybe to transform the relationship that you have with this person, and maybe also to check if there is any message for you about co-creating this reality in your office. So once you are able to change your point of view, to change your perception, and to transform this anger in peace, your stomach will be much healthier. And this is just one of many examples.
Interesting. I was just thinking then when you were talking about that, it's the, if we're working with, I guess, traditional medicine, we're working typically directly with a condition.
Exactly.
But what you're talking about is some of the more indirect factors that can affect our environment and our ourselves as a whole.
Exactly.
But working directly on a condition that may be there, but also working preventatively in that environment to stop this manifestation as well.
Exactly.
So it's the direct, indirect, and then also being able to work preventatively from a health perspective is amazing.
Absolutely. And it's very, like you said, Ian, thank you, because you exactly got to the point. It's a very holistic approach. From what we are sharing, it's not about really only taking care of symptoms. That's very important, because if we have a terrible, excruciating pain, we have to do something for that. And we need to take care of everything that's around that symptoms. Why why this happened. Did something happen in our life that created that? Is there any message for me? Can I change my internal environment? If going back to Bruce, when he talks about the petri dishes and about the cells, the same cells that grows and develop in a different way according to the environment. Okay, so imagine that we are a beautiful and very complex petri dish composed of trillions of cells. Okay, it's up to us if we want these trillions of cells to grow in an environment where the energy is love, growth, peace, or if we want to let other people and the environment to run our life and to let us create an environment where there is fear and anger and worry, where cells, in order to be healthy, have to spend a lot of energy, and it will be much more difficult for them to be healthy. Okay, so it's really up to us. And with PSYCH-K, we can easily create this beautiful environment inside ourselves, easily, and to promote a beautiful health and well-being state.
So could an example of that be someone who has a condition that may have been given a serious prognosis? There's the condition that they have that they can, we can work directly with as that fourth level from the belief perspective, the subconscious support perspective. But also there may be an indirect fear created around the prognosis. So that is not going to support that person who already has the condition. So it's an additional thing we could go and work with.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ian. This is another very, very, very important thing. Just a prognosis or diagnosis that we receive. Just think about when we as human beings, we are told, you have this, you have this, you have this. Like you have inflammation, you have cancer, you have any sort of condition. Just that for the system, for our subconscious mind, is of a huge impact, because our first thought is, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Okay? First. And this is another stress that doesn't help us to maintain our inner environment with the energy of love and peace, because we transform this inner environment with fear. So again, when someone has a kind of also severe condition and receive a diagnosis about that, it's again important to take care of this condition from every point of view the person believes in. That can be allopathic medicine or alternative medicine, and also to take care of the environment and how we deal with the emotions related to this condition. Because if we approach this condition with the background of, oh my God, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, it will be maybe more difficult for the person to recover. If we approach this condition with a background belief, okay, I am in peace, I trust, I have everything I need to really recover, I am open to receive and to do anything that it's necessary to change, it will be for sure easier for the person to transform the condition.
Beautiful. So it's creating a more supportive environment rather than inner environment, rather than a taxing inner environment where there's a real strain on the resources already. You want to create as many resources as you can. Beautiful. Beautiful. Fantastic. And there's a concept I know that we talk about and you teach so beautifully in the health wellbeing program called the Mind Doctor.
Oh yeah.
Mind Doctor, and
Yeah.
and is that something you could perhaps elaborate on a little bit?
Yeah, sure. It's the Mind Doctor actually is an inner doctor that we have. That's and the Mind Doctor is our subconscious mind that takes care of our autonomous nervous system, and also made the Mind Doctor is also made by our super conscious mind, or whatever you want to call it. It's our inner wisdom, it's our soul, it's our spirit, it's our intuition. And these two parts of us, the subconscious mind and the super conscious mind, that love us and want to support us, are a kind of our inner doctor, because they're able to, when we interact with them in a proper way, and we do this with PSYCH-K, this inner doctor that knows everything about us, knows our history, knows our beliefs, knows our biochemistry, our biology, how we react to life. If we are able to work with this, our inner doctor, in an easy and effective way, it will be much easier for us to reach and maintain an optimal state of health and well-being. And why this inner doctor is so important? Because it's again related to the placebo effect that Rob Williams, the originator of PSYCH-K, prefers to call the perception effect, because the placebo effect is a kind of energy around it that it's like saying something fake. And actually the placebo effect is not at all fake, because it's the power of our mind to affect our biochemistry. So it's the perception effect. When we use our mind to promote, to activate, to trigger the perception effect through our belief change that then create a biochemical response, a biological response in our body, here you can see the potential of working with our inner doctor that's composed in part by our subconscious mind. So our inner doctor that knows everything about us and that manages our autonomous nervous system can support us if we know how to work with him, her, or it, as you prefer to imagine this inner doctor. And to work with this inner doctor with PSYCH-K is easy, clearly, if you know how to do that, if you know how to interact, what kind of questions, if you have a good relationship with this inner doctor, okay? And it's a kind of having, it's beautiful because you are never alone here, because this inner doctor is you, is always with you. So you are never alone. And this is so important, because one of the main things in the health system is that people, when people discover they have a condition, apart from the fear of death, it's also, oh my God, I'm alone. What can I do? I'm lost. Okay. And when you have something like PSYCH-K that promotes and let you discover that you have an inner doctor and how to work with this inner doctor, you would be never alone, even if you are physically alone. Okay. And this is of a huge, huge help.
Fantastic. Wow. There's just so much scope for discussion around the health and well-being, and PSYCH-K in general, but health and well-being, it really is such a huge area. So next question I was going to ask was related to the simplicity of applying what we learn, because there's obviously what we're talking about now is like, whoa, it's huge information. But I know from having, attended, I think 4 or 5 now, it's very simple. We learn at the basic workshop and the advanced workshop some balance processes. And I know that we also learn some additional balance processes, which are incredible at the Health and Wellbeing program. But is the application of everything that we're talking about now as simple as using PSYCH-K balance processes that we've already learned, but using them with new knowledge in how to inquire and apply different questions to different areas of our life? Is that?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, Ian, exactly. During the Health and Wellbeing program, like you said, we learned 2 new balances. That's one is the optimal health and well-being balance. That's a massive balance, very intense, very profound, very really life-changing, where we will integrate 22 goal statement, 22 beliefs that are common to the healthier, happiest, and elder people in the world. Okay, and it's related to a branch of science that's called psychoneuroendocrinoimmunology. So we will be able to muscle test and to check if we have all of them integrated in our system, and if we lack of some of them, we will be able to integrate all of them in a very efficient way. Then we will learn another balance that will allow us to really kind of learn everything we need to learn from a specific condition that we have, and then to create a brand new life where this condition does not even exist, integrate all this information in our system so that the epigenetic response, that's another big piece of the health and well-being program, the epigenetic, will create a healthy environment instead of a kind of toxic environment. And these are the two big balances, the 2 new big balances in the health and well-being. And what you said, that's I think as important as these 2 big balances, is that we will learn how to use the balances that you already know and that are the simplest ones, like new direction, resolution, or some other simpler balances from the advanced workshop, but in a much more specific way that's even simpler and at the same time more efficient. Because it's really the elegance in PSYCH-K and where PSYCH-K is going is towards simplicity and effectiveness at the same time. So it can seem strange because what we have talked so far about can seem, oh my God, it's huge. It's the internal, inner environment, the out, and the external environment, how we react, how we transform our perception of the emergency situation, how can we work with first aid from the 4th dimensional level. There is a way to work with all of these beautiful subjects in an easy and efficient way. That's the point. So it doesn't require, oh my God, I have to learn tons of new things. It's how to basically learn what you already know, but from a different point of view. Also, how to ask yourself and your partner, if you work with someone else, questions that will help your partner to see the condition from a completely different point of view. Okay? And to see solutions, because like Einstein said, it's really difficult to find a solution at the level where the problem was created. So we need to change our point of view. We need to see the condition and the problem we have from a different point of view in order to be able to see a new solution where we think we are stuck. Okay.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's
and I know
that's the big.
Beautiful. And I know that going through and starting to facilitate with the work from the health and wellbeing program, the manual or the instruction material that we receive is comprehensive, but allows us to be able to work from that point of simplicity and
Yes.
just start where we start, and just start at a very simple place, and then literally go through, for example, managing a condition. And I love that part. And that's something that so many people ask about in the basic and advanced. How do I work with a physical condition with PSYCH-K? And there's a series of questions that if you just go through the questions, it all reveals itself. And create very simple balances from different aspects. And I like what you have said in the past, and create different ignition points.
Yes.
For a particular condition. And so I think that's really important for people to know as well, that don't be overwhelmed, come and be amazed, but you don't need to learn everything. It's very simple.
It's very simple.
And would you say that going through the experience of the 4 days at the at Health and Wellbeing program is also in and of itself a transformative experience? So
oh my God!
Not only
absolutely
learning, but because the basic workshop we learn the processes, we don't get a lot of chance to practice. The advanced was very transformative. How would you classify the health and the transformative experience, the level of transformation that someone would go through at the Health and Wellbeing program in and of itself, even if they didn't use it?
Yeah, it's huge. And Ian, you know, many feedback we receive from participants that they say, oh my God, this is just the changes that I've gone through during these 4 days are absolutely worth the whole experience and my time. I strongly suggest you to just come, learn, and use it. But even if you will come and you work with this during these 4 days, you will get so much out of this workshop because it's very, very, very experiential. Okay, it's really how the difference, for example, from the beautiful advanced workshop where we learn a lot of new processes. Okay, here it's not about learning so many new processes. There are 2 beautiful balances that we will learn, but the key point of the health and well-being is really how to think in a different way and to put it in practice immediately. So again, the theory that's needed, but then practice. So that, because the best way to learn and to let it sink in your system so that you will be able to apply it in your day-to-day life and with your clients or the people you work with, is to practice. So if everybody, like every other PSYCH-K workshop, will be beautifully exhausted at the end of each day, but because also of the huge transformation they will go through. And another, I think, very, very important aspect that's affecting the whole PSYCH-K field, from the basic workshop going through the master facilitation, the advanced, and for sure the divine and the health and well-being, is that really, sure. Is that PSYCH-K? Yeah, it's going a little bit dark. Is that PSYCH-K is moving from the self-help to the self-realization. What does it mean? That PSYCH-K is a magnificent methodology to help us to really get what we really need. Also from the 3-dimensional point of view, that's about relationship, health, abundance, spirituality. And it's moving more and more towards the self-realization. What does it mean? That the more we focus on becoming the best version of who we are, the more we remember that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, the more, as a consequence, our health will be better, our relationship will be better, our job will be better. So with PSYCH-K, the beauty of PSYCH-K is that we do not have to choose, oh my God, no, now I have only to work with my self-realization, or oh my God, I'm working with only my apparently three-dimensional problem. The beauty with PSYCH-K is that we can work specifically with our health, relationships, abundance, but at the same time, we can also work specifically with our self-realization, with our remembering that we are a spiritual being having a human experience, and the double work, the double beautiful job that we do from 2 points of view will join and will be really, the results will be exponential if we approach any kind of situation and condition here, health and well-being related from these 2 points of view.
Right, which brings everything back to wholeness.
Yes, exactly. It's just, think about that, Ian. When we will be able to remember 100% who we really are, that we are perfect beings, that we are pure light, or whatever you believe you are as the essence. As a consequence, everything else in our life will be perfect. Okay? And for sure, sometimes it's so difficult to focus on this level because we are worried about day-to-day life. Oh my God, I have this condition. And this condition that's life-threatening doesn't allow me to focus on my spiritual evolution. So it's super important to take care first of the health and well-being condition in order to have a peace of mind so that we can work on a higher level.
On the bigger picture.
On the bigger picture, okay? And with PSYCH-K, we can do both, okay? We can do both. We can take care of our day-to-day life, but at the same time, to take care of our spiritual evolution and the big picture, the oneness. That's why it's so powerful.
Incredible information, Duccio, as always. And I just wanted to drop in there. You mentioned the biology of belief several times, and if people haven't read that book, Bruce Lipton, The Biology of Belief, that is just a seminal work connecting psychology, biology, and spirituality that everyone needs to read. Duccio, that was fantastic. Just such a beautiful ending there. I think we might leave it there. We're going to be seeing you very soon, and I'm very excited to be hanging out again for 4 wonderful days with you. So on that note, I might leave it there and say thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And it was just absolutely inspirational as always.
Look forward to being your beautiful country with the beautiful Aussie people and people from all around the world that will want to join, because also the beauty when we do this health and well-being workshop in Australia is that we have people from Asia, from Japan, from Taiwan, from also many countries all around. So we are blessed to meet so many beautiful people.
And it's just another great point about the health and well-being. You're meeting a group of like-minded people that are you'll probably never ever have the opportunity to meet in a setting like that, doing the kind of work we're doing, and that's just another very special part of it. But Duccio, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Recording now, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you for everybody. Thank you, Ed. Bye-bye.